Have any other suggestions, sir?
Well, you hit it on the head. You've got to grow your own food. You've got to do it outside and in greenhouses. You know, the Roundup seeds, there's been cases in Canada and even here where they take this family from Canada who was growing for many generations, they're living from whatever they were growing, alfalfa or something, and some of the Roundup seeds from next door blew over into their field. And the Roundup crop was growing up, and Roundup took them to court, and the judge agreed with the Monsanto people and had these people destroy their whole crop because Roundup seed, Monsanto seeds got into their field.
And that goes back to what Prince Charles was saying here. We have this contamination throughout the world. This pollen just blows everywhere randomly with unchecked and contaminates all plants with these genetically modified organisms.
And this is a way that they're using to intimidate the farmers that if they don't use their seeds, they may lose their whole crop. And to use a word I've said twice already today, that's a national tragedy.
It is, and it's happening here in the United States, out west with seeds. There have been some victories against Monsanto. I couldn't go into them. That's not really my field that I've studied a whole lot, but I do pay attention to some of it. But there are some victories, and some people are waking up to this. The best thing is to grow your own food, buy local, educate people. But most people, they just go into the grocery store and just buy, and you know, they don't think about this. But there's a lot more people paying attention now. I wanted to touch one other thing about you talked about the gun sales. My wife works in the salon business, and she has some the young girls that cut hair and everything, and just the chatter in the salon is these girls, they're all talking about going out and buying their guns. And, you know, you just never hear about this. And one of the gun stores had 86 assault rifles at the beginning of the day. At the end of the day, they had 12. So that ought to tell you something.
Yeah. There's one business that's booming during this economic meltdown.
Well, and that to be one because I wanted to cut Blackwater is also immune from prosecution. If they kill a citizen, they don't get prosecuted. But if you defend yourself against them, you will be prosecuted. How right is that? You know? So
Unreal.
It is unreal. And one other thing here, I got this thing from the John Birch Society. First, you know, they gave a list of several countries in the 20th century that enacted gun control. And everything that, when the gun control came, gun registration was one of the things that came in, not all the time, but gun control. They disarmed the population, then there was gun confiscation, and then then what followed within 5 years on at least a dozen countries in the 20th century followed with rounding up the civilians and genocide. And it makes you wonder, why do they have so many FEMA camps? Some people laugh when you talk about FEMA concentration camps. They're in mainline newspapers that you can go Google the Houston Chronicle, you know, with pictures, and they've talked about it. So the time for, you know, denial has got to be over at some point, and I think shows like yours will do it. I tuned in one morning, I tuned in early, and you had a show that on before your show, I could not believe that what I was hearing. Why can't you guys be on for 2 hours? You know, it was like it was like, I don't know, it's like I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It was just a bunch of gobbledygook. And I said, boy, with all the pressing issues that are facing our country and the world today, we need more shows like y'all's on there.
Well, listen, we certainly do appreciate what you said, and we appreciate you calling. Is there anything else you'd like to add today before you go? We're going to see if we can get some more phone calls in, but what you said was very important.
Well, just keep doing what you're doing, keep informing people, and I'm going to get off of here because I'm going to hear what everybody else has to say myself.
Okay, great. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Gentleman, very informed gentleman right there.
Absolutely.
The Monsanto and the seeds wasn't new to him. We got another phone call. Hey, you're on the Real News.
Thank you very much for talking about growing your own fruit and vegetables. Nothing wrong with having a few chickens on the side also. They're also shot up with steroids. If you look at how big the chicken breasts have been lately, that'll give you a good answer, because I'll tell you what, you look at a regular chicken and that chicken breast isn't even a quarter of the size of what you're finding nowadays.
Well, it's also in the milk. I mean, we didn't even get into the RBGH growth hormone.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the consequences of that. It actually, when farmers use that, they actually also have to double or triple the amount of antibiotics they give the cows, because it causes enormous infections in the udder. And actually, they have to homogenize and filter the milk. I think it's like 20 times more than they used to, due to the amount of pus in the milk. I mean, does anybody really want to drink that?
Yeah, really, and feed it to your children.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I have a few chickens, and I recommend everyone to get some, because you can just feed them your scraps. They eat about anything, and the time may well come where everyone's going to wish they had a few out in their backyard.
Exactly, and I promote the Con Park in downtown Statesville. This is Gil Soft from Barking Farm. I don't mind exposing myself, because I tell you what, every time I talk to Billy Buck twice a week on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I try and enlighten our neighborhood and let them know, wash your fruit and vegetables. Ask your produce manager, where does these come from? And if you look at ours, at the produce markets, compared to what you get out of the stores, they're not all uniform. Not everything is bright red and shiny. So I appreciate you guys putting the word out there. Thank you very, very much. And I know our local farmers are thanking you also. Guys, you have a great day. You do a great show.
Hey, great. Thank you for calling. Feel free to call in anytime, because we're just at the beginning of covering the genetically altered seeds and genetically altered foods, and we're going to keep going into it and hopefully have some experts on. But I certainly do appreciate you calling today.
And I'm also one of those women that are carrying and packing right now also.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Y'all take care. Bye-bye, guys.
Thanks.
If you'd like to call in before we go off the air, the phone numbers are 704-873-1400. Our Davie County number is 336-499-0681. Also wanted to mention that in this past election, California and 2 other states voted in Tuesday's elections to ban same-sex marriage, dealing a blow to gays and lesbians in the left-leaning, trend-setting states months after they won their case in court. But in an indication of the complex cultural map drawn by the elections, voters also rejected limits on abortion in South Dakota and Colorado, and in a loss for social conservatives as the country elected its first black president, Barack Obama, a Democrat.